Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Anthony Cosenza with Casa Realty Group coming at you with this week's real estate market update. There are a number of pieces of information that we are going to bring you, both of our own, from our own homework, as well as from some other industry professionals out there. Thanks for joining us, whether you're watching live or whether you are catching this video, maybe clips of it on our social media channels, maybe just afterwards on our YouTube channel. However you may be watching it, thank you, and hopefully you find the information we're going to share with you valuable, as we think it's pretty valuable, and we want to be a resource for you, not only just as informational resources for you, but as your real estate brokerage, whether it's getting you information and working with you on a lease, a possible purchase, a sale, investment properties, multi-unit properties. We have experience in all of those areas, and we want to work with you, get you all the information you need so that you can traverse this real estate market and make sure that you are well equipped, well informed, all that good stuff as you go out there and make decisions on your home buy, home purchase, home sale, any of that stuff. We want to help you out. You can go to CasaBellRealtyGroup.com to learn more about the brokerage, learn more about the real estate agents, brokers, owners, etc. We are an independent brokerage that has been in existence for over a decade and a half, but there are decades and decades of accrued real estate experience in Casa Realty Group, ranging from the broker owners all the way down through the realtors that they employ. So a lot of experience where customer service is always number one priority as well. So we want to take really good care of our clients, and hopefully you have worked with us and you know that, or hopefully you kind of can feel that message or feel that from these types of videos and other things that we try and help you out with on our social media channels, etc. I mentioned at the top, you can get to our channel on YouTube, subscribe to it, and click the bell to be notified when these videos are out, when we go live, when other stuff is out there for you to peruse. And of course, we're on Instagram, Facebook, all of that, putting out all kinds of different information for you throughout the week that hopefully you find helpful. Well, let's start off with, as we usually do, we're going to do some real estate market information. Then we're going to highlight some things going on in the community, whether it's events, charitable, nonprofits, all that kind of stuff. We're going to highlight that. And then, of course, we'll get on out of here. And hopefully you find all of this information informative and helpful. So let's get to the real estate market update. So we're going to start with our good friend, Chris Pacheco at Cross Country Mortgage, a guy who we have worked with and enjoyed the process of working with him on some purchases. He also does refinances, kind of runs the gamut, does a lot of VA loan stuff as well. That obviously being always a point of emphasis, but with Veterans Day coming up as well, we want to point out that he is a fine loan officer that assists a lot of veterans in the community as well. So we appreciate what he does for our clients and for all the clients out there that he services. So let's get to some of the information he has decided to share with us this week. Again, Chris Pacheco, Cross Country Mortgage. We'll look at it says Monday. This actually came out Tuesday because of the holiday on Monday there, but you see last week's activity. 194,000 jobs were created in September, which was lower than expected. So that's something to note in terms of the economy moving, shaking, or maybe not moving and shaking as much as some people had anticipated. Unemployment did fall, though. Fell almost 0.5% from 5.2% to 4.8%. That's good news just in general for the economy. Obviously, it's kind of an interesting time for those seeking employment or other opportunities, because there are employers seemingly looking for hireable help left and right. There seems to be a lot of people hiring at this point in time. So they are looking for some quality folks, and the unemployment rate falling maybe shows a little bit of those positions starting to get filled a little bit. Pandemic assistance plans have expired. So that is something to note. We are now at about, I guess about a year and a half into this thing officially. The pandemic and all of it, obviously things are starting to lighten up, and trending in the right direction in terms of health and cases and all of that. I mentioned last week, I gave some statistics put out by the California Association of Realtors that they had put out in terms of cases dropping. And again, this week, same thing over the past 2 weeks in the state of California, a major drop in terms of new cases of COVID-19. I think about a 23% drop in terms of where we're at now as opposed to 2 weeks prior. Hospitalizations are down and all of that. So that is good news for the state of California. We'll see what happens here as the year wears on and all of that. But right now, the state is looking at about, I believe it's somewhere just under 70% in terms of folks who have received at least one dose of a vaccine. The federal government is looking for about 85% of the total population to be vaccinated at some point, and that is what the data shows from the state, from the CDC, and of course relayed to us by the California Association of Realtors. So wanted to pass that on to you. Again, some good news in terms of things trending in the right direction in the state of California, cases being dramatically lower over the past calendar month. Cases have dropped, hospitalizations have dropped a bit as well. So that's good news, not only from a health and safety standpoint, but from a normalcy and all kinds of different standpoints as well. Home prices did rise 1.3%. So you see that, again, you're kind of looking at some of the statistics going back and looking at the month of September, seeing as how we are in October right now in the middle of it. So that is something to plan there. We'll talk more about some different things going on with house prices, fall markets, winter markets, etc. Appreciation, home price appreciation is 18.1% year over year. Again, that's from CoreLogic, that some data that Chris Pacheco pulled for us, and 18.1% again last year. Things kind of getting a little trickier. And of course, at this time last year, that's when you started to really see the spike. There was still some activity over the summer, but people were kind of tentative and what they were going to do, et cetera. But really in the fall and the winter and all of that is really when things began to take off. Same thing with this past spring in terms of home price appreciation, the frenzy in the market, et cetera. This week's outlook, you see here today, supply chain issues and labor continue to concern small businesses. I can personally attest to that. I do know some small business owners, and they are affected greatly by what's happening in the port of Los Angeles. I believe things are at least a week and a half, if not even further out, in terms of boats being able to come in, ships being able to come in and unload the cargo that they have. So delays there are complicating a lot of different things, particularly for small businesses. CoreLogic loan performance shows that 30 days decreased. The past 30 days decreased from 4.4% to 4.2%. The past 90 days improved 3% to 2.8%. So foreclosures remain very, very low at 0.2% of the markets. That is just not a segment that we are seeing here, both with the pandemic forgiveness initiatives and just where things are at in the market, a lack of homes on the market, et cetera. It's just not accounting for many foreclosures or issues like that in the market. We'll see what happens going forward here. But even so, that doesn't seem to be, a lot of forecasters don't predict that to be a major issue in the coming months, the coming years in terms of foreclosures, et cetera. And then, of course, the Fed minutes and 30-year bond auction came this week. Here are the rates. I'm going to zoom in on these bad boys for you here because the rates, everybody always asks about the rates, and rightfully so. Conventional 30-year fixed, 3.245% is the national average. You can see here, if you've been paying attention to these videos, if you've been paying attention to the news and all of the outlets, you're seeing a slight uptick in these rates here. So even though prices have been high, rates are still low, but you're seeing them climb very gradually. That's probably going to continue to happen. So if you are a buyer and you're kind of trying to wait things out, please keep note of this and speak to a mortgage professional like Chris Pacheco. Speak to real estate professionals as well, like us at Casa Realty Group. We can get you informed on all kinds of different things. But FHA 30-year, 3.29%, a jumbo 30-year, 3.207%, and a VA 30-year, 2.848%. Those are your national averages, and some information courtesy of Chris Pacheco of Cross Country Mortgage. And we want to give him and his company a plug here. Continue to give him a plug. Here is Chris Pacheco and his contact information. Here you can see there is an address that is out of Marietta. However, he has an office in South Orange County, does a lot of different things between San Diego County, Orange County, the Inland Empire, and does a lot of things even out of state. He has helped a client of ours in the state of Arizona. There are other things that he has done to help both locally and just, in other parts of Southern California outside of Orange County. So he does a lot of different things, works with a lot of different clients, and does so at a very high level. You can see here, Chris Pacheco at Cross Country Mortgage, 909-534-0238 is the phone number. Email address, Cristobal, CRISTOBAL .Pacheco, PACHECO at myccmortgage.com. Again, 909-534-0238. Cristobal.Pacheco at myccmortgage.com. Give him a ring. Let them know we referred you, or we're happy to make a personal introduction as well if you would like us to do that. So happy to do that, but definitely make sure that you are well informed on a number of different fronts in terms of what you could be eligible for on a loan rate, whether you're refining, whether you're looking to purchase, whatever the case may be. Chris is a great resource. We're happy to make an introduction if need be. Otherwise, go contact him directly and let him know that you're working with us. You heard about him from us, and he will take great care of you, I assure you. Moving on, we didn't get to this last week. It came out a little bit later last week, but we wanted to get to this. We usually like to do and share these pieces of data from this outlet at least a couple of times a month on these videos here. And this is from Reports on Housing, just a snapshot here. Again, this is Orange County housing statistics. You see it there. Current time on the market is 26 days. The market time last year at this time, in terms of amount of time a listing would have sat, 38 days. So it's even shorter now if you decide to list your home. On average in Orange County, 26 days currently was 38 days. So about just under a week and a half shorter in terms of amount of days. And there are a couple of factors to that. There were folks that were sifting through many offers, and that kind of extended things, and they were kind of continuing to field more offers. If you've been paying attention to these videos and the information we have been putting forth here, you would have heard that the last maybe month or so and into this fall, things will be throttling back a little bit. So, this 26 days could be throttling back a little bit, but there are a number of different factors, both the pandemic affecting things a little bit last year, but also, this time last year is kind of when things were really ramping up in terms of some of the frenzy. So you're seeing folks that were maybe sifting through a number of offers and, things of that nature. So just some different elements at play here. And then a 3-year average market time. If you look back from 2017 through 2019, which is before COVID, 86 days was the market average time on during 2017 through 2019, and now cut by a lot. You see, what is that, 40 days, 60 days less, from current market time to 3-year average market time, 2017 through 2019. So 2 months slower if you were to have put your home on the market on average during that time. Food for thought there, courtesy of Reports on Housing. Here's some more from them, a little bit more extended information from Reports on Housing here. That we love the information that they provide us and provide for our clients. You can see here, last call for 2021 is the title of this one. This was put out on October 4th. So, about a week and a half, but still obviously very, very relevant. 7 more weeks until the slowest season of the year, which is the holiday market. We do see usually through the fall and, through the winter as well, things slow down quite a bit. Obviously the holidays, kids are in and out of school because of holidays, all kinds of different things, families in town. People just aren't really thinking about selling a home per se, but there always is just a slight little push towards things at the very end of the year. Folks looking to get transactions done and in before the end of the year to obviously affect tax statuses, etc. So that's something to note, even though overall things will be a bit slower. At least that's what is forecasted, and we're starting to see a few of those effects already. You see inventory is down, and we'll talk more about that in just a second with our research within the MLS that we have for you. But the inventory did drop yet again. The active listing inventory shed 110 homes in the past 2 weeks, down 5%, and now totals 2179 homes. From September 1st through the 15th, there were 12% fewer homes that came on the market compared to the 3-year average between 2017 and 2019. And of course, noting 2020 was skewed due to COVID-19. 184 less last year. There were 4,153 homes on the market, and 1,974 additional homes, or 91% more of inventory than there currently is right now. So last year there was 91% more inventory than there is currently right now. So even that being said, again, if you watched our video just last week, we talked about 2 different elements about the fall market for buyers. That sounds very daunting for buyers, and it is. I mean, that's a daunting statistic. However, if you heard the articles that we relayed along with some of the information that we shared with those articles, you would have noted that it is still a good time to buy for buyers, especially in the slower fall winter markets. Sellers may be a little bit more amenable to working with some certain things that were not really elements to a transaction just a couple of months ago. There's all kinds of points of data for that, and we pointed that out last week. But again, still a great time to sell. You can capitalize on your equity. As we always say, it's still a great time to sell. But that being the case, it's still a good time to buy. Rates are still low. They are climbing a little bit, as you just saw from the information from Chris Pacheco. But again, there's a little bit of that balancing the scales. I keep using that metaphor every time I do these videos, but a little bit more of the balancing of the scales, even with the inventory going down. You see demand down 4%. So the number of pending sales over the prior month decreased by 102. And then it's down 4%, totals 2521. Last year, there were 3,254 pending sales, 29% more than today due to delay in the spring market because of COVID. Closed sales have been similar to 2020. There were 3,119 closed residential resales in August, 1% less than August 2020. August marked a 3% drop compared to July 21. The sales to list price ratio was 101.3% for all of Orange County. So that's 1 point. Essentially, homes are getting 1.3% on average over the original list price. 1.3% more over the original list price is the average for all of Orange County right now. Foreclosures accounted, again, Chris noted this in his graphic as well, 0.2% of all closed sales, just not part of the market. 99.7% of all sales were sellers with equity. Remains a hot seller's market. We noted the 26 days on average, so we won't kind of beat that one over your head. Again, 2017 through 2019 was an 86-day on average market time. 26 now 2 months shorter than the pre-COVID years there, the couple of years right before COVID hit. So, and then 38 days last year. So things are moving. And then the luxury market actually improves. You've seen these graphics the last couple of times that talked about it cooling a little bit. Of course, luxury, at least in Orange County, is 1.5 million plus listed homes. They account for 32% of the market in Orange County, and in terms of the inventory, and only 17% of the demand. So folks are looking at the 1.49 and lower in terms of Orange County. That would be 83% of the demand would be for 1.499999 and lower. Expect the luxury market to cool as housing transitions further into the autumn market. So these might be we always talk about the homes that maybe sit a little longer than some anticipate, and then there's a little bit more flexibility in terms of pricing or other elements of a transaction. This may be one of those areas where you'll see that particularly be affected in the fall and winter months going forward there. So that is something to most definitely monitor as we talk about things potentially slowing down here in the next couple of months. So I'm going to now transition, just to wrap up, put a nice bow on the real estate market data. We've kind of thrown a lot at you there. So this is a video graphic from us that is showing you the stats for what's going on in the MLS. Now, these, you saw about 2,100 plus in the last infographic from reports on housing in terms of active listings. Dropped a little bit because this is basically a week and a half newer, but coming soon, 183, with 135 of those from October 15th today through October 25th. So many of them are coming over the next week and a half. Active listings, 2,064, with 401 of those from 10/8 through 10/15. So basically the past calendar week, 401 of those have become active in the last calendar week. Active under contract, which is AUC, 1,543, with 270 of those coming since October 11th, which is the beginning of this week. Pending, 1,748, with 138 of those coming since the beginning of this week, October 11th. Closed, there have been obviously a bunch in there in terms of the past 180 days or past calendar year, but 406 of them have come since October 11th, the beginning of this week. So things are moving. There are things that are available, but it is dropping. You noticed some of the graphics they're talking about a continuing lack of inventory, but there are a number of homes still out there to be had, a number of great homes to be had. It's just a matter of finding the right one for you, making sure you get your loan, should you need one, all of that dialed in, and being armed at the ready, really, to go and find the house that you're looking for. Again, even though homes are moving at under a month in terms of average market time, there are great homes out there that may have been sitting a little while longer. Maybe they fell out of escrow once, twice in this aggressive market, and you may be able to work something out there, but you need professionals who have navigated a bunch of different markets, seen the real estate market do a number of different things. And we at Casa Realty Group have decades of accrued real estate experience in a lot of different markets and in a lot of different regions, and with a lot of different types of homes, whether it's condos, townhomes, whether it's single family residences, large single family residences, what have you, multi-units. I mentioned that our brokerage has experience there. Investment properties. We have a lot of different experience and a lot of different housing types, and we want to help you out. We want to not only be a resource of information for you, but we want to be your real estate professionals representing you in whatever goals you may be looking to achieve. That's going to wrap up our market information for this week. A lot to get to, thanks to Chris Pacheco at Cross Country Mortgage. Thanks to the folks at Reports on Housing for their great data. And then, of course, just a little bit of homework on our end in terms of what the MLS is looking like as of today, as of recording on October 15th today. That is just some information for you. Got a couple of community things that we want to highlight, and then we'll hop on out of here, and hopefully you find this stuff informational and helpful. But let's get to a couple of different things happening in the community here. So obviously, it being fall, there are a lot of different activities and things to do. And in Southern California, the weather is still great. If you go, if you look outside today on Friday, it's like mid 80s in mid October. Crazy, right? So one of the things that you could do that's both family friendly and outdoors, and since it is outdoors, maybe you feel a bit safer if you're still have some COVID concerns, etc., is pumpkin patches, right? We've talked about that, and I think we highlighted one at the San Clemente outlets. Well, this past Sunday, my family and I went to one at the old Laguna Hills Mall. Now, the Laguna Hills Mall is unfortunately defunct at this point in time, but they still have such a huge parking lot, a huge amount of space. A couple of weeks ago, they had a circus there, I think. And now there is Pumpkin City's big pumpkin patch. Now there are a lot of great pumpkin patches obviously in the area, but this one, since we went to it, I think we talked about the Orange County Fair one maybe as well last week, but this one we went to, it's in Laguna Hills / El Toro area, and you can go there. There is admission fees, and there are some fees to pay for activities and whatnot, but there is no shortage of activities, whether it's kids, whether it's photo ops, whether it's a beer garden for the adults and some food that they serve there, live entertainment, all kinds of different stuff. And oh, by the way, early in the week, Mondays, Tuesdays, I believe, they do fundraisers for specific organizations. I know they do things for schools and all kinds of different stuff. So this is a really, really cool. Unfortunately, this just wasn't open last year because of COVID, but this is a really cool thing. There's all kinds of different rides that they have, like kind of mini carnival rides, stuff for the kids, a petting zoo, all kinds of different stuff. You see the hours there, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and a lot to do there. This is, again, at the old Laguna Hills Mall in Laguna Hills off of Avenida de la Carlota and El Toro, that whole area there. You can go, Los Alisos is back there. That's one of the cross streets as well. You can go there, pay a small admission fee, get in there and do all kinds of different things for the adults, for the kids. What kind of things? Well, we got you covered here. I'll show you a couple of different things that they have here that they offer in terms of activities and all kinds of different things. Of course, they've got the pumpkin patch itself, but you see here are the rides and attractions. They've got boat rides, bounce houses, car rides, Goliath slides, the big inflatable slide swing rides, Tractor Town. They've got a general store. They've got a petting zoo, all kinds of like carnival games where kids can win prizes, stuffed animals, etc. So you've got the game booths, and then of course you've got food there. I mentioned live entertainment, and I don't know if they've got it. They don't have it listed here, but you've got the Oktoberfest beer garden at the Laguna Hills location. I believe they have it also at the Anaheim location. So they actually, if Laguna Hills is a little further south for you, they have one in Anaheim as well. I think the locations are right down here. So you can kind of see, yeah, here you go, Anaheim off of East Lincoln. So they have that there, kind of Anaheim / Fullerton area. That's another location they've got for you with all of these different things to do for families. Really cool thing. We had a great time last week. We had a large contingent of our family hanging out on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening there, spent a couple of hours there, and the kids had a blast. One other thing I want to mention to folks that is going on in the community, and actually this is one I might actually go to this evening, but there are concerts coming back and a lot of big venues coming back to be able to get these concerts going. One of which is in Irvine at the Great Park area, the 5 Point Amphitheater, a band I like a lot personally. 311 is playing this evening on Friday night. But you can see here Willie Nelson and family playing Saturday night, which is tomorrow. You see the little graphic there, health check. They are requiring that folks either bring in proof of vaccination or proof of a negative COVID test. If you do not have a negative COVID test, nor are you vaccinated, they have on-site, for a fee, they have on-site testing where you can take a test and submit that if you would like for a fee. But they're obviously trying to do things safely. They're doing things that is protecting the masses here. So even though some folks may be a little leery about going into a big venue with a lot of people, they are keeping it as safe as possible in terms of, obviously people providing vaccination statuses and or negative COVID tests there. So a couple of big name bands playing in Irvine this specific weekend. And of course, also SoFi, the big stadium in Los Angeles. They obviously have the Rams playing there and the Chargers, of course, as well. But they also will be having some big concerts, too, in the form of coming up here. And the Rolling Stones are set to go there. So they've got a lot of different things there. Obviously, the LA County and whatnot has a little bit of a different set of circumstances for testing and health screening, et cetera. But again, these venues are opening up. And folks can go take advantage of some really good shows after having what seemed like forever without some nice concerts and things like that to look forward to. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out. Again, go to CasaBellRealtyGroup.com. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we go live, when new content is available. And we'll keep posting all kinds of different stuff to our outlets to hopefully help you out and be a resource for you as you look to make big decisions in this real estate market. Take care, everybody. We will talk to you soon and have a great rest of your weekend.